This is Luana Rubin, and I'm here at the V&A, the Victoria and Albert Museum, with Sue Prichard, who is the curator of the new quilt exhibit here. I've come all the way from the States just to see this exhibit, and we are so excited. So pleased to meet you, and thanks for letting us speak to you. This is my favorite museum in the whole world, which says a lot. And this is maybe my fourth time here, and to be able to come back to see this is really a thrill. So Sue, would you mind telling us about how you ended up curating this beautiful exhibit?
Well, I started really researching the collection 6 years ago, and the intention was always to showcase the V&A's extraordinary collection of historic quilts. So the aim was really to carry out some really in-depth research into the collection, but also to tell a very British story.
Yes. And are you a full-time staff, or did you come in special for this particular collection?
No, I joined the V&A in 2001 from the Tate. So I was at the Tate Gallery for 10 years, and then I came and joined the V&A with responsibility for the contemporary textile collection.
Wow, this must be a dream job.
It absolutely is, and of course the bizarre thing is when I was a little girl, this was of course my local museum, and I used to come to the V&A with my grandmother. And as much as I loved the costume court, and as much as I loved the museum, I was always intrigued by the door marked private staff only. And so as a little girl, my ambition was always to go through that door and discover those hidden treasures. And so this exhibition has given me the opportunity to really discover those treasures and present them to a wider audience. So yes, it is a dream come true.
Oh, that's wonderful. So I imagine you have at least one or two pieces here that you're very passionate about. Could you tell us about those?
Well, yes, I mean, it's a bit like saying to me, you know, what's your favourite sweet in the candy store? Because it is the most extraordinary collection.
Yes.
But I think as a curator of a national collection of extraordinary textiles, you have to be objective. We have over 85,000 objects in our collection. But occasionally you come across an object that has an emotional connection with you, and that particular object obviously is the Deal Cock quilt, believed made by Priscilla Redding, who was the governor of the daughter of the governor of Deal Castle, born in 1654, and I live in Deal. And so it's my hometown. So every Saturday morning I walk past Deal Castle on my way to the local market, and sometimes I sit and I look across the sea to France. On a clear day you can see France, and that's exactly the same view that Priscilla would have had from the castle. And so that emotional connection between two women separated by 300 years is quite a poignant personal story within the context of the exhibition.
Yes. And is there a piece that you are very attracted to in terms of color?
Well, of course, the military quilt is an extraordinary feat of skill and virtuosity, and of course the colour is absolutely extraordinary. It was believed to have been made in India by Private Francis Brayley, who served in the 1st of the 11th Foot in India between 1864 and 1877, so he spent 13 years in India, and he's produced this extraordinary geometric quilt where the hexagons are just 1.5 centimetres across.
Wow.
And the vibrancy...
1.5 centimetres? I can't even imagine.
Absolutely. I mean, it is absolutely a feat of virtuosity. But of course, the mythology that surrounds military quilts is that they were usually made from the uniforms of soldiers' dead comrades taken from the battlefields. But of course, when you look at these objects, you realise that battlefields were bloody places, they were dirty, they were chaotic. If you look at the military quilt, you can see that that fabric has probably been taken from cabbaging or cuttings from tailors, military tailors' shop floor. And the colour and the vibrancy, the fact that we're still looking at this today and admiring the virtuosity of that piece, I think says something about the skill involved.
Wow, that's incredible. Thank you. And so, what's next for you?
What's next for me? Well, basically, I mean, the exhibition itself has really generated such an enormous amount of publicity. We're getting 5-star reviews in all of the newspapers and the specialist press, an enormous amount of coverage in terms of television and radio. We had record advanced ticket sales. The book was #2 on Amazon Art and Architecture series. So really, I think, for the next month or two, or certainly until the exhibition closes on the 4th of July, I'm pretty much here 24/7. And then I'm going to spend some time with my family.
That's wonderful. So I'm sure the museum has realized that they're tapping into a reservoir of interest with quilters. And that's something that I find too. It just is amazing to me. I've been recently to the Tokyo Quilt Festival. 250,000 people show up for that show. The Houston Festival, 55,000. And I know that the director of the Houston Quilt Festival, Carrie Bresnahan, is coming to visit you next week. So hello to Carrie. And we just want to send you a warm hello from all the American quilters who will either come or wish they could come. We'll be carrying the book, and we're delighted to showcase your exhibit. We'll look forward to seeing what you do next.
Excellent. And I look forward to seeing as many of our friends from overseas as possible.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Pleasure.